let's talk solutions. Our number 6 point here, better serve citizens' banking needs, actually goes to a system that we've developed here in Utah that can be used really anywhere, because it is based on the U.S. gold dollar, which has been made legal tender by the U.S. government. Obviously here in Utah, as mentioned during the opening remarks, we did have the passage of the Utah Legal Tender Act, by which the Utah legislature specifically recognized gold and silver coin as legal tender. The program I'm going to describe to you uses coin recognized not only by the state of Utah but by the U.S. federal government as legal tender. Following the passage of the bill, we had a what we termed a monetary summit in Utah in 2011. It was attended by representatives from half a dozen countries and over a dozen states. And since that time, about a dozen states, actually more than a dozen states, have been working to pass laws similar to that adopted by Utah in 2011. Following that, there were efforts to set up a commercial framework by which people could really use gold and silver coin as a tender for payment of debts, as a legal tender. As those efforts met with obstacles, and we were working with those folks trying to put something together, it just occurred to us that perhaps we should take the bull by the horns and see what we might be able to put together that would meet people's needs. So in 2013, through the Utah Precious Metals Association, we launched what's called the Liquid Gold program, whereby members of the association can essentially use gold dollar holdings to pay virtually any bill or invoice that they may have. This could be a utility bill, a tax bill, mortgage payment, credit card payment, what have you. And so the way that the system works is through an escrow. So members essentially make dollar contributions to the association through this escrow, and the term contribution is the statutory term. In a banking sense, you refer to it as a deposit, but it's a contribution, goes into the escrow. The escrow converts the paper dollars through a default 30-day dollar cost averaging into gold dollars. So each member then has a contribution account that is tracked by the association. And members can make use of that contribution account in one of two ways. They can either withdraw in minimum $50 increments, because 1 ounce gold is stamped with a $50 denomination by the U.S. Mint. So they can either just simply pull out those gold coins at any time, or they can tender to the UPMA a bill or invoice to be paid. And then that goes back into escrow, and the recipient is given the option, or the payee, the merchant payee, is given the option of receiving either gold dollars or paper dollars. And that could be to a governmental entity or to a private merchant. The escrow would then convert the gold to the paper if necessary, or simply credit the merchant with the gold dollar amount due. And then as merchants begin to like this idea, then they become affiliated with UPMA, and they just always accept gold for payment of these kinds of bills. So this essentially allows people to put themselves in their own personal gold standard. And we have members of the association that have done just that. They've taken all their income in gold dollars. They've paid all their bills in gold dollars. We've been running this program for about a year now, and it's proven to be growing in popularity, because it gives people the option to make choices about, hey, do I want to spend paper dollars or gold dollars today? The gold itself, unlike our current banking system, this is not a fractional reserve system, but 100% of all amounts contributed are backed by gold, which is held in Brinks and insured 100% by Lloyd's of London. We've also recently launched a mobile payment system. So this is a point-of-sale system as contrasted with our bill pay system. So what I initially described could be analogized to an online bill pay system that many of you would be familiar with through your banking relationships. The mobile payment system through an app downloadable from the Apple App Store is a system whereby people can actually pay at the point of sale. So you log in and you can see your escrow account, what you have pending in the escrow for conversion to gold dollars, and that balance, and then your vaulted gold amounts and what the net gold dollars is. It also gives you the current exchange rate there, which is set daily by the UPMA based on the London fix. The PM London fix. There's the London Bullion Market Association sets a spot price used by the major bullion banks for gold twice a day, morning and evening. So we use the afternoon one to set an exchange rate for that day's exchange, and that is used whether gold is coming into the system or going out in the form of bill payments. So there is no spread, buy-sell spread on the gold, because there really shouldn't be that for money, right? I mean, if you went to a teller and said, you know, please give me a change for a 10, and you got back a 5 and 4 ones, and you say, hey, what gives here? And say, well, that's the buy-sell spread on the conversion. That's the way that gold is often used when it's treated as a commodity, as there's a buy-sell spread. So I felt that should be eliminated, because that's not how a true monetary system works. There's a small transaction fee applicable to these transactions, but no buy-sell spread per se. To make a payment, you simply select a vendor to pay. You enter the amount, a tax, if any, tip, and then you can put in the clerk or the server's ID, specify whether that's being paid in gold or silver dollars, and then you just simply hit Pay Now. And then your confirmation page pops up. It shows the amount and the paper dollar equivalent. And then by simply touching Confirm, that amount of gold goes from the account holder's account to the merchant's account in real time, immediately. As far as these transaction fees, as you can see, there's fees about 10 gold cents is the standard fee for payment of transactions that have to be converted into paper, because there's a cost associated with that conversion. But for payment in gold, from this slide, the payment structure is designed to disappear over time. So the more transactions a member does, the better they're able to cover their payments, because a transaction fee is paid by the merchant, which is significantly lower than a typical credit card transaction fee. And then that goes to cover the transaction fees for the members. There is a monthly dues, again, of 10 gold cents paid by each member, but that covers vaulting and insurance of a certain amount of gold dollars, and then also one 10 gold cent transaction fee is included within those member dues. And so the idea here is to encourage members to pay at least one bill a month through this system, so that we can, through member usage, spread the concept, the use of gold dollars widely throughout the economy.